Welcome back, football fans, to another episode of the Prediction Show. In this one, it is all about trends. I'm calling it the Trends Digest. And we will tackle the Premier League tomorrow if this video gets 500 likes. And it will also see a return of Man versus Machine. The Machine in the previous video, again, with a winning selection. It is on fire at the moment, and it's also on fire on X, where we've been posting daily doubles and daily trebles, also using the BetSlip Generator. So what we're going to do is look at the trends pages. We're going to look at the overview first, see what games stand out on the charts, and then take a deeper look at some of them if they are interesting enough. And you can see I've already got an alert set there for Lorient. They were 1.45 to win again at home. They're playing a team that has won under 30% of games, so that's an interesting one. PSV also playing tonight. Both of those games on Friday night, 1.38. Always worth an alert, I think, so we'll just do that. Let me know if it hits 1.8 in play. And you never know, they might go behind. They're playing FC Twente, who have scored 2 goals per game away from home. So we will open this one in a new tab for Friday night. Could be an interesting choice for BTTS. Let's take a look. And before we go any further, here is the winner of Odd Alerts Pro for a month. Well done to you. You commented on the last video. Thank you for the comment. And the same applies for this video. All you've got to do, comment down below which is your favourite market from the trends pages and what would you like to see added. I can add a new trends section in a day or so. It doesn't take much, to be honest, because all the data is there in the database. I don't know why this is the database behind me. Just go and get the database. So let us know which is your favourite in the comments, and I will, of course, read every comment. And which is your favourite for pre-match and in play as well, because the alerts are a massive part of the trends pages. Certainly the home wins, over 2.5 goals, BTTS, over 1.5 goals is incredible for the alerts, especially the games that don't have odds before the match kicks off. Al-Ittihad in Saudi Arabia also playing on Friday night, Friday evening. Al-Nassr, Ronaldo's Al-Nassr, who are unbeaten away from home, but they have conceded a goal per game on average. I'm going to take a deeper look at this one because potential for the double chance. Al-Ittihad, a very good team at home. As we can see, they've won 6 out of 6. So we will open that one in a new tab. Now let's take a look at that trio of games then for Friday night, all from the home wins section. And what I'm going to be doing on this video is logging my predictions using the predictions tab. And if you've not done this before, you can view the possible options here. So if I wanted to go BTTS, I would click it and then hit save. I'm going to check the data first, of course. And you are playing against, one, the probability model, because it is the probability model's implied odds that dictates the points you receive. And you're also playing against other users on Odd Alerts. There is a rankings page, and if you rank first, you will win a month of Odd Alerts Pro. And coming soon is a revamp of the rankings. I'm going to be giving away regular prizes, real world physical prizes, as well as cash for monthly winners. And I'm going to start that in January so that it's a fresh start. I don't want somebody who's top in December or November being like, what? That's not fair. I was crushing it a month ago. So Al-Ittihad has won every home game that they've played, scoring 3.17. They are playing Cristiano Ronaldo's Al-Nassr. Let's take a look at the form for both of these teams. As we can see, they've scored in every game played. For Al-Nassr, they've scored in every game played. For Al-Ittihad, they've scored in every game played. And I just toggled the form there. It was on home versus away. Now we're looking at overall. So every single game, there's been no nil-nils. They've scored in every game, both of these teams. In terms of BTTS, it is quite low. So these are two dominant teams in terms of when they play the other sides in the division. And we can see there is a lot of clean sheets in recent times for Al-Ittihad, and they are one of the best teams. I think they are the best team, aren't they? I get them confused with Gerard's team, but that's Al-Ittifaq, is it? Or something like that. And yeah, it is first against third. Ronaldo hasn't won the league since he's been there, has he? Because Al-Ittihad are just a better team. And I think it's interesting to check out the head-to-head for this one, because we can see BTTS and a lot of goals in recent times. And Al-Nassr actually, on Boxing Day 2023, came there and won 5-2. I don't think there'll be a repeat of that. What I'm looking at, which isn't an option on the predictions game at the moment, was the double chance. So 1.44 And it's 1.44 regardless of which way you go with the double chance. But I would potentially go double chance and over 1.5 goals. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. And when I do revamp the predictions league, I will also revamp this to allow for more markets, because we've added more markets into the probability model anyway. Double chances there, corners are there, and more markets as well coming. So I'm going to go BTTS and over 1.6 is very, very tight. Could this get away from Al-Nassr? Could they lose this 3-0? Are they going to score as they have in every game this season? I'm going to go BTTS at 1.6. That is my prediction for this game. It is logged in the database. And let's just check out the rankings before we head over to the next game. Chippy is currently first. He's got one prediction left, or she. 1.83 points per prediction. That is a good record. Antoli is second on 46, so it is very close. And Antoli has a good chance of winning pro this week because they have only made 17 predictions so far. 2.71 points per prediction. That is very, very good going. And you can see everybody in the top 5 has made 20 or more predictions. In fact, everybody in the top 10 so far. You can see who's on the best streak, and that accolade belongs to David at the moment. And yeah, let's crack on with the next game. So PSV, this is another game from Friday, and you expect PSV to dominate in this league, as they have been. They've won every home game. They are scoring for fun, I imagine. 3.83, even more than the previous home team. But what is interesting here is that FC Twente, 2 goals per game away from home and conceding just 1.4. Where were they in the league? They're 5th. So they are having a pretty good season, all things considered. Their recent form looks like this. They've lost just 2 games this season. One of those away at Feyenoord, which is completely understandable. Away from home, both defeats came away from home, but they have scored in every single game. PSV at home, 5, 6, 2, 2, 3 and 5 across all competitions. They have not lost a home game since 2023 December. I can allow for more games to come in here. Maybe I can add a load more button, because in instances like that, you want to know when that run ends, right? So with the previous game, the points returned were quite different, weren't they? So BTTS 1.88 and 1.74 for over 2.5 goals. I think with this game, because FC Twente have got a great scoring record, PSV are strong enough to keep a clean sheet, but over 2.5 goals still likely if they win 3 or 4-0. So I'm actually going to go with this because it kind of feels a bit safer. If FC Twente score, then it's very likely, I think, that PSV score 2 or 3 and win the game still. So over 2.5 goals. And incidentally, the model is giving us better implied odds for the home victory, 1.57. I'm going to save that. That is my second prediction for Friday on oddalerts.com. The predictions game, 1.74 for over 2.5 goals. Next up, we will take a look at some away teams. We do like to capture some BTTS games from these away ranking pages. Trends pages, I should have just said. So the best away teams playing this weekend, we've got no 100% records, incidentally, but we do have some poor home teams over here. And you can check out some of the scoring records of these teams as well. We've got a game on Sunday here, PAOK. Racing Santander from Spain. They have won 7 out of 8, but they are 3.5 to win again. Interesting, and they're playing a team that's won just 33% of games in Granada in the Spanish second division. Let's open that in a new tab, and then we'll open another game because we've got Olympique Marseille here. We had these a couple of videos ago, or a few videos ago, didn't we, to score in the second half or something we talked about. And we'll start with the Granada game, and we'll see first what the model is thinking about this game. So it's got it quite evenly matched. It is a value bet, this, because we can see 2.91 here and the odds of 3.5 for the away win in reality. And you think there might be some team news or something, or some suspensions, because it is top of the table against 7th, and we just saw the away record, didn't we? 88% in terms of the games won, 2.75 points per game. In terms of goals scored, they've conceded just 5 goals away from home, and Granada scoring just 1.56, so they're not prolific by any means. So we know that the away win is a value bet, and I think double chance is a fantastic selection here, and the odds are 1.72, I think we saw. We'll take a look now if we use the odds comparison tool, not in the first half. So 1.73 is the peak for that. Let me know what you think about that in the comments for double chance. And if you've got the API, if you're using the Bet of the Day page or something like that, you can filter for double chance on the probability model, and I will add it to the fixture very soon. I'll try and do it this weekend, and then we can have it in the predictions game as well, which will be fun because, you know, games like this is what I want to put on as my prediction, because I think it's fantastic value. So I'm actually going to go with over 1.5 goals. I think that looks good at 1.38. It's quite low, but I have to vary my predictions for the game a little bit. And let's have a look as well at the other game that we opened. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments as well. Granada, Racing Santander. If you are looking at putting some selections together from this video, let us know in the comments what you are liking. And I think double chance, as I said a moment ago, looks fantastic. On to Sunday, Saint-Etienne against Marseille this was, and Marseille, I believe, are second in the table now. It wasn't that long ago that De Zerbi was saying, you know, if I'm the problem, I'll walk, and, you know, theatrics. I mean, Marseille is never too far away from something like that, a bit of drama. And we can see overall this season, 62% of games won, negative 19 goal difference for Saint-Etienne. That is something that should be highlighted right away. Shots faced per game actually is pretty close, 6.08. This is shots on target faced, and 5.15. So actually, Olympique Marseille, let's have a look at the away form, is pretty similar. At home, it's a lot lower for Saint-Etienne. So that's interesting. Before we've even looked at the results, let's have a look at the results. And I imagine that a lot of these defeats, heavy defeats as well, 8-0, 4-0, 4-2, 5-0 in the previous game. Their home form, however, is pretty good, which is quite interesting. Away from home, it is abysmal. But they do come into this regardless on the back of a 5-0 drumming to Rennes, who are 15th. So they've got a really interesting set of results here because they've beat Lyon. They lost to Lyon 1-0, beat Montpellier. Yeah, real interesting mix of results, and looks like they're coming into a bit of form, and then they'll lose in the next couple of games. For Marseille, they have been pretty good this season, just losing 3 games away from home, scoring plenty of goals on the road. And this is exactly what we talked about when we looked at them a couple of episodes ago, I think it was. We looked at them for a second half goal because they were scoring consistently in the second half. You can see it here. They got a 0-0 here. They scored 3 second half goals against Lyon. Scored 2 in the second half against Montpellier, scored in the second half against Nantes, and then Lens, I think that was the game we looked at, they scored 3 goals in the second half. We previewed that game. Let's have a look at the heads-to-head. Might be a while ago because Saint-Etienne have been relegated in the last couple of seasons, so I'm not going to take too much of that. I'm not going to take too much notice because Marseille, different manager, different set of players, especially at the top end of the pitch. What are you thinking for this one? If we look at the overall form recently, in terms of conceding goals, Marseille are still conceding plenty of goals. Where do they rank for BTTS all season? They are 3rd, 9 of their 13 games, whereas Saint-Etienne are 3rd, and that's because their away form sees them getting battered and hardly scoring a goal. We'll take a look at the model as well, and what we will do is do an AI fixture simulation, which uses a model, runs simulations on the games, and we can see there is a 49% chance from the model that Marseille win this game. Let's hit generate and see what we get. A 2-1 victory to Olympique Marseille. And what were the points on offer? Well, we can get 2 points for an away win here. I'm going to go with that because I think Saint-Etienne, against any team with real quality in this league, will come up against it. They might score, but BTTS is actually being offered at 1.7. So that makes me think that if there is goals in this, it's going to go one way. And again, over 2.5 goals, under evens being offered from the model. So I'm going to go with an Olympique Marseille win. An option if you're looking for your selections this weekend could be Marseille and over 2.5 goals for sure. Let's have a look at the odds in reality. 1.62 are the odds on offer. So interesting to see how they differ from the probability model. In terms of the value on offer, it is a negative value bet. Let's have a look at over 2.5 goals, and 1.77 is the best you can get. So that is actually sort of on par with what the model is thinking. And again, I just got to think, if there's going to be over 2.5 goals, which the bookies are thinking there is going to be, because it's, under evens, it's more probable than not, then who's going to score those goals? Is it going to be 3 for Marseille? That's likely. Is it going to be 3 for Saint-Etienne? Highly unlikely. Is it going to be 2 for Marseille, 1 for Saint-Etienne? More likely, more possible. So let me know what you think about this one in the comments, and we'll move on to another section on the trends pages. I'll take you now to the over 1.5 goals section, because I actually just want to show you a little bit of a technique here. This page is a goldmine for in-play value, and we can see across the next 5 days there are so many 100% records, and to qualify for the trends pages, what you have to do, a team to qualify has to have played 6 games at home or away. So any team you see has played at least 6 games, whether it's the home teams on the left or the away teams on the right. So we can see Reading, who have just lost their manager, by the way, away from home, 9 games out of 9. We can click on that, 1.18. Let me know if it hits 1.4. And I added in these values here so that you're getting a certain percent of value for every alert that comes in. So you could find a game here, 1.13, and we'll put it back to 1.13, and then say, let me know if it increases by 50%. And then even if you think, 1.69 is not, it's not that high, I want to go over evens, well, just know that you're still getting a 50% increase on the value that was offered. And if you do that over time, you're going to be in a winning situation, right? And always track your bets, paper trade if you have to beforehand. And the alerts coming to Telegram from this page makes it easy for you to track. There is a link on every alert that says add to bet tracking, and you can go and just add it in quickly if you've jumped on it. An alert does not always equal a bet or a selection. That's also a given. And finally, from the over 1.5 goals section, another method that has been profitable long term, we did back testing on this. There was actually a tool for season ticket holders that launched called the Funnel, and what it did was it took games pre-match that didn't have over 1.5 goal markets available, and it automatically triggered an alert after it became available in play. So it usually opens at about 1.3, 1.4, sometimes as early as 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on the game. And you can see there's one here, Saturday at 5:30, 6 out of 6. There's some here, if you scroll down to look at the overall table, we've got one here, 15 out of 15, 29 out of 30 here. This is Friday night. What I can do is say, let me know when this hits 1.4, and then you'll be notified as soon as it becomes available. You can actually put 1.1 or something, and you'll get it as soon as it triggers, regardless of the price. So the last page we will look at in terms of this Trends Digest, and let me know if you've appreciated this video, if you like this video more than my other ones. I will go back to doing Premier League predictions tomorrow, and deep dives into the individual games for the Premier League tomorrow, and Man versus Machine as well. If this video gets 500 likes, I will be here 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. But for now, let's try and find some plays for BTTS across the weekend. So on the right side here, we've got some interesting odds, 100% records as well. Motherwell away from home, 1.75. Let's have a look at who they are playing. They are playing St Mirren, who have failed to score in 38% of games, so that's one that I would leave. And also Motherwell's record defensively, they've got a -3 goal difference. BTTS, of course, though, landing in every single game. This game from Hungary, this is a team that can concede, capable of conceding. They love a sort of BTTS and win, and that is my bias, my sort of short-term memory. We'll check it out in a new tab to confirm that or deny it. And as we jump to the left side of the screen here, the home teams, we've got Al-Nassr, 1.91. They're playing on Saturday, and again, 100% record. And in fact, the first 9 teams on this BTTS trends page are all 100% records. Brentford again, BTTS the other night, 1.5. I tell you what, let me know if this hits evens for Brentford. It's unlikely that it will hit, but if it does, I want to know about it, because Brentford at home, and in all of their games, to be honest, First half goals, absolutely incredible. 10 of the last 10 games overall for Brentford have ended with BTTS across all competitions. And we can see Fulham here as well. 7 out of 7. Who are Fulham playing? I think they're playing Arsenal on Sunday. That'll be a tough game. Fulham, big win at home in the week, wasn't it? 3-1 against Brighton. So they will be confident. That was a very strange game. I don't know if you saw the stats for that game, Fulham against Brighton. There was 4 goals from about 5 shots on target. So very, very clinical game there. Ingolstadt, 8 out of 8 as well, 1.53. So what you can do is check out these games on the trends page, and you can also, maybe you don't know about this, use the bot. So if you click up here, Trends Bot, I'll just put a little clip here of what happens when you use the bot. You can get these games sent to your phone directly, instantly, at any time. Trends on demand. So if you're on the go, or if you're just looking to get some quick selections based on the top performing teams for a certain market, this is the way to go. So we'll end by taking a look at the team from Hungary, which we found on the BTTS page, and BTTS is 2.25, and it always is with this team, to be honest. There's a couple of teams, I think, in this league where BTTS, and it's quite right, given their record against most teams, to be honest. You can see they've conceded just 6 goals at home. Away from home, 16, so they are much better at home. They have failed to score in 0% of games, but that is also true for the away team. And I guess we can take a look at the tables page for BTTS and just see where these two teams rank. So 11 out of 14 overall for that second place team. I'm just going to call them that second place team for now, because you can try and pronounce that in your own time if you want. Away from home, they are top, 7 out of 7, as we saw. So I think the odds justify this, to be honest. I think because this home team, more than capable of just going out there and winning 1-0, 2-0, 1.37. The probability model is giving this game in terms of the home win. BTTS 1.95, so again, it is a pretty similar story. I'm going to go with BTTS. We're going to be a bit riskier, because sometimes that's how you have to play the predictions game, isn't it? We want to win that free month of Odd Alerts Pro. Let's do a fixture simulation. And as you can see, here are the output values from the probability model. So high chance of over 2.5 goals, very high chance of over 1.5 goals, huge chance of a home victory. And we'll do the simulation, and then we'll actually just check out the form. So 2-1 victory. After 10,000 simulations, 2-1 victory. Also a common scoreline was 2-0. And you can see a breakdown of some other stuff from the simulation. BTTS landed in 55% of the games. Home goals 2.05 on average. And let's just check out the form of the home team finally. We didn't check that out. And we will look at their home form and see that they've drawn the last couple of games, conceding 2 or more in each of those games. So that bodes well, doesn't it? Let me know what you think about this one. Will you be on this weekend? Let me know what you're on this weekend in the predictions. And if you want a video tomorrow, if you want a return of Man vs Machine and EPL and EFL trebles, then just like this video, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.